Today we're making beer onion bagels. Come on in, welcome to my home. I'm going to make for you one of my favorite lunchtime things, which is a beer onion bagel. This is so good. Bagels are so easy to make. I've made them before, but I've never done the beer onion until recently, and I've been messing around with this recipe for quite a while, simply because on a cold day, what better thing to have than a beer onion bagel? These are so good. I am using my Cuisinart. You can do these by hand, but it's really easy in a bread maker because you sort of get that nice texture to it. Don't worry about over-kneading it because they're bagels. Bagels are chewy. But let's begin. All the ingredients will flash up on the screen there, and they're also listed down below in the description. Now remember, if this is your first time here, remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and also ring that bell so that way you get notifications when I do new videos. Alright, let's start with the liquid. Now you should put your ingredients into your bread maker the way the manufacturer tells you, but I'm going to start off with my beer. My beer has been warmed. To that I will add my flour. I made a little well in there for my yeast. I'll sprinkle the sugar around. These are dehydrated minced onions. Now you can use regular dehydrated onions, chopped dehydrated onions, but I found the dehydrated onions work better than just regular onions simply because it adds more water to the mixture. If you do use regular onions, you are going to have to play around with the liquid that you add, but dehydrated, it's just wonderful. So I'm going to pour those in there. And then the salt. Now I used to think that salt killed the yeast. It doesn't kill the yeast. It actually just sort of slows down the whole rising process. Now I'm going to take a good portion of salt and then sprinkle it around. I'm using sea salt. You can use table salt. If you use table salt, you'll use a little bit more table salt than sea salt. I'm going to put this into my bread maker, set it on the dough setting, and then start. It's that easy. Now all we have to do is wait for it to go through the dough cycle. Our dough is done. It's gone through the dough cycle. I'm going to punch it down, then take it out of the pan. You can definitely smell the onions and the beer. I have a lightly floured mat here. Now here's the fun part. I'm just going to slightly knead this and then divide it into 8 about the same size balls. These don't have to be perfect, and I have found that the first time I made these, I made them too big. Then, roll them. Now, on my pan, I have cornmeal. I lightly sprinkled cornmeal on the pan so that way these things don't stick, because they want to stick. I'm going to roll them into a ball, then taking my finger, poke a hole through the center, place it on the pan. That's all there is to this part. That's why I didn't go through all the big thing of, flouring the counter, because this way I can just wipe off any excess flour. And I'm only going to put 4 on per pan, simply because these will rise. These will rise a lot. Yes, you can work way harder than what I am to make these more even, but you don't have to. Once you have your bagels formed, you're just going to take a cloth, cover them, and then put them in a nice draft-free place for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. It's up to you. Now, I like to go for about an hour simply because it's easy to remember an hour. So after an hour, we'll come back for the next step. In a pan of boiling water, add 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Boil the bagels for 1 minute on each side. Then bake them in a 425-degree oven for 15 to 18 minutes. Our bagels are done. Now, I let mine brown more because all I do is toast mine in the oven when I use them, so the toaster doesn't really get them as brown as they should. You can let yours brown as long as you want. If you toast yours in the oven, then you're going to want to go for a less amount of time. Wondering why I have the knife, right? Well, these aren't split bagels. Normally, I let these cool. However, today, we're going to eat this fresh out of the oven, and look at that. That looks amazing. Let me give this a taste. That has the perfect bagel texture. It has this wonderful crunch to it on the outside, nice and soft on the inside. The beer and onion just mix incredibly well. This is so good. Now, if you make this, let me know. You can get a hold of me on most social media at cmcolemanhome. If you have any ideas or suggestions that you'd like to see me make, let me know down in the comments, and I hope I get to see you again next time. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can share it. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the other videos on this channel. I love making these videos for you, and I hope I get to see you again next time.